So I hit record. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the first session in the Library Resources Lab 2021. We are very happy to have you online with us and in the room with us. Today we have two presenters, both of them from Elsevier, but one, Kathy Cable, is going to talk about Knovel, and she's going to tell you what it is and how to use it. And Steve Quinlivan is going to talk about ScienceDirect if you have questions, please either hold them until the end of the presentation of each presenter, or is that okay, right, Steve and Kathy? Or you can, for those online, you can put them in the chat if that's work for you, and they will answer at the end. Okay.
Yep, that works.
You. Kathy, take the mic.
Kathy, you're still on mute.
Yes. Okay, she's unmuting her. Yes. Okay. Kathy, you need to choose the right screen to share again. Yeah. Both of them are co-hosts. Sharing, yes.
There, how about that? Wow.
We can
Sorry. Sorry about that.
We can hear you, but okay. Now we can hear you and see Knovel.
Okay, I'll start this again. Thank you for showing up, everybody. Thank you for your time. I'm here to tell you about Knovel and talk to you about Knovel and show you some just quick tips and tricks. This is the Knovel homepage. And up here in the corner, you'll see the welcome sign. So when you're logged in with your school email, you'll see that here. And in this welcome section, you can get to My Knovel, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. You can update your profile, you can change your password, and you can log out. Over here on the left-hand side, there's the home page, and this toolbar here is actually static. It will stay with you throughout your searches in Knovel, so you can quickly go to My Knovel, your folders, or whatever else you need. In this center section here is your search bar, and you can also do a property search. So for this, let's do a quick search, and you'll see my recent searches will populate here. But for this, we're going to look up stainless steel. And I want to specifically look at, if I can spell, turbine engine, material, and see what we come up with. So this is a broad search, right? This is a general search. Now, this is our results page. You can see out of that search, we have over 230 results. And you can narrow that down even further by filtering here on the left-hand side. You can filter by concepts, or you can filter by date. So for this, we're not going to filter. I just want to just point out some different things. There are some interactive tables found in here. You can sort by relevancy, copyright date, or novel release date. You can just search within your subscription results. There's a quick video tutorial if you need it. You can save your search query, and you can also share your search query. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit. I'm going to show you. Let's look into this one. So you can see it's highlighted based on our search. Up here in the corner, you can enlarge it. But what's nice here too is you can see the table of contents. This is your search result, but this is where it was found. This is the title that it was found in. You can actually go into the title from here, or you can go into any one of the chapters from here as well. And you can pick your preference on how you want to view it. So up here next to the chapters, you can see you can save it, you can share it. Now, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but Knovel has a mobile app. And with that mobile app, you can actually download and save and work offline up to 20 titles, and you'll have access to those for 1 month. And then you got to refresh it and start all over. But you do have that option. Here's where you download, print, citations, you can pin it, and so forth. There's shortcuts here. You've got the unit converter. You can use that if you need to. And you can search within your search. And you can also add notes. You can add notes, and you can, so the next time you're in this title, you can find your notes. You can save it to My Knovel and refer back to it quickly. So while we're talking about My Knovel, let's go back over to the home page, and I want to explain to you what My Knovel is. My Knovel is a personalization feature. What you can do is you can save searches, you can save into your folders, not only your searches, you can save results, you can save equations, you can save tables and things that you can quickly go back and look at. And you can also share these with your colleagues. You can also see what you save to your mobile from here. And you can, like I said, you can populate folders. And if so, like, I don't know how many times you do it, but I do it all the time. I go in and I make a search, right? And I look for something that I really need, and I find it, and I forget to save it, or I forget to jot down where it was. And the next day you're going in, where did I find that? I know I found it somewhere. Well, you know what? You can save your searches now, and you can put it into My Knovel, right? So the next day when you do come back, you can go back to that search. So with My Knovel, to have access to that, you have an option or not to register. And it's a one-time registration. You go in, you just give your name and your email, and we send you an email confirmation. But then you can get right in and you can start saving, start sharing, and personalizing your novel experience. So we did the general search. Knovel also offers a property search. So we're going to continue with the stainless steel, but we need to make sure that this material is going to be suitable for an engine. We need to know that the melting point needs to be 1,330 degrees Celsius. So we can go into the materials property. Let's do stainless steel, because we know that's the material, right? So now we've got a filter for the properties. So we want the melting point. So we see melting point here. We're going to take it, we're going to drag it, and we're going to drop it. Now, for melting point, we have options here. We have exist, equal, and so forth. For this one, we're going to do equal or less than, and it is 1,330 degrees Celsius. Now, if you don't want Celsius, if you want to change it, you certainly can do that. But for this exercise, we're going to stay with Celsius. And you can see it's narrowed it down to 15 results. So we click on results. And you'll see interactive tables. We can save this now. We can go back and we can search within the search or change our search. We can save this and it'll go to my novel. So let's go. So as we scroll down, we see we have 15 here, right? So these tables, we see just a snippet, but we can also click and we see the full text for a full table. Now, again, we have the table of contents, so we can see where this came from. We can see the chapters in the book. We can go there. This symbol here, when you see this symbol, that means there is an interactive table within this chapter. This has just text, but this will have the table. And as with the others, you can save it, you can download it. And these tables work they're just like Excel. So you can sort ascending, descending, you can lock it, you can choose which columns you would like and which you don't need, and so forth. And we can download it to PDF, Excel. I'll show you what that looks like. And there it is. There is your downloaded table. Okay. I could save that this time. So down here, I want to show you just before we step out of this one. If you click on that one, it'll take the filters away that you previously had so you can see the entire table. And then just click it back and it'll go back to what you searched on. So that's just one of the materials property, but I want to show you something else too, because you can add more than one thing. So we're going to go back. Oh, material property search. So here we are again, stainless steel. But this time we want to know the tensile strength. Okay, so we've got the materials name. So now we're going to type in tensile strength. Scroll down. There we go. Drag and drop. Now for this one, we know that what we need should exist between 1,130 to 1,900. So we're going to choose in between. Okay. So we said 1,130 megapascal to 1,900 megapascal. Now, as with the temperature, you can also change this if you want, but we're going to stick with megapascal for this. It's down to 129 results. So I'll click on that. And it's just like the same as our previous search. We have the tables. We can click for the full tables. And it's the exact same thing. See, here we are. Okay. There's the tutorials. There's more info there because I know we're breezing through this. But it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to use. So I think you won't have a problem. Up here, it is a support center if you need it. Since we're talking about help. Okay. So there's news, there's the top FAQs, how do you register, just typical questions that you might get. So if you need help, you can always go there as well. So over here on the side, I want to show you the browse section. The browse section, it lists all the subject areas and the premium offerings. And these introductory offerings are free titles from Knovel that you have access to. So within these subject areas, this could technically be another kind of search. Because if you go to chemistry and chemical engineering, you'll see that we have 925 topics. You can filter even further. Or if there's a specific title you want, this is all that we have in this subject area. We'll go back to the browse. And I want to show you the Knovel sampler. And the reason why I want to show you that is because in here, Knovel talks, it's a great way for you to go in and learn about the graphs, the interactive graphs, plotters, and tables that we do have. So when I showed you this earlier. This is the symbol for the table. I may have not. I thought I did. This is text. And this here, if you see, is a graph digitizer. This tells you how to use it. You move the mouse over. You can modify the curves. It'll populate here. You can clear them. You can add your own. And that's the graph digitizer. And let me see. Interactive table we talked about. We also have, here we go. Again, how to use this digital chart. You can plot your points. It populates down here. You can change the input. You can change these. You can add a temperature. You can clear them all. And again, like with the others, you can add it to your Knovel. You can export it and you can print it. Here's a breadcrumb trail, so we can go back to the Knovel sampler or back to home. We can do it that way. So that's the browse. You can also see what new content Knovel has. And there are times when we lose the rights to the publishers. So we have to remove content. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen occasionally. And you can be updated with that there. Knovel has a corrosion database in beta. We also have equations. Now these equations, this explains about them. Okay, come on. And you can calculate equations yourself. Some are auto-populated. So you can go in and see that, and you can open the worksheet. And like with the graphs, right, and the plotters, you can make changes yourself. You can edit. You can edit this. You can make your own calculations. You can insert equations and text and things. You can insert units. And here's all the things that it does over here. That is the equations. We have a unit converter. And down here in more, you can see our periodic table. You can learn more about our mobile app. Knovel has a search widget that can be added to your search bar. So if you're doing whatever and you need to get into Knovel, you can just go into the widget. Integration, we have an Excel add-on. We have Steam table calculators. We have the browser extension. So all that can be found in that more area. And see, this has stayed the same. We're going to go back home. Does anybody have any questions? I know I'm kind of flying through here. Okay. So that's my portion in a nutshell. You know, if your school's interested, we can certainly do something more in depth. I'm love to do that for you. But if you have any questions, reach out to your librarian, who she can always reach out to me or Steve, and we can answer any questions you have, or help you navigate Knovel. If you just need some help navigating, let me know, and I'm available.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to stop
Let
sharing
me-
my screen.
I think you have.
Okay, good.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we're going to switch over from a novel to ScienceDirect. And this page right here just gives you a little overview. So ScienceDirect content is Elsevier exclusive. So unlike Knovel, where you're having materials from various publishers, including Elsevier, when you're on ScienceDirect, this is Elsevier only material. Down at the bottom, it kind of lists how much the articles, over 18 million articles and chapters. So it's basically journals and books, about 2,700 peer-reviewed journals, to which Case Western has access to the vast majority of those through OhioLink. We also have ebooks, and we have an expanded section of open access articles. We have about 1.4 million now on the ScienceDirect platform. So just moving over to ScienceDirect. So you'll probably get here in a different way. I went directly to ScienceDirect, but usually people get here through, the library discovery system, or they might have Googled something. But I'm just going to do a search from, the main page here. I already have it, a little prompt up on nanotubes. So I'm just do a keyword search. If you do have, information like the author or a specific journal and that, you can put it into these, in here into the search. And I'm just going to pull up the search results on nanotubes. So it will give two different types of results. It gives publications that actually have nanotubes within the title, so books and journals. And then you also down below have either the article or the chapter that it matched up to that keyword search. Like Knovel, on the left-hand side, we have refined, the ability to refine the various different methods like years or the article type. So I'm just going to actually pull up and refine it down to just 2019 articles. So right here, when you're actually in the ScienceDirect results, if you're actually logged in and you're under the IPs of the institution, you'll actually get an idea. First article here, it's an open access article. You'll have access to it. The next one here is full text access. This means your institution has a subscription, and you'll be able to, view that article if you so desire. So I'm just going to click on the first article here. This is basically how ScienceDirect displays this is with the article information. On the left-hand side, you basically can you have a little outline where you can jump to different areas. All the figures and tables will be over here, so you can easily just click on those. The center section allows you, the journal title, article title, and then a brief little highlight section of what the article is about, followed by the abstract, keywords, introduction, etc. You also here, if you want to, grab the PDF, you can just click on the PDF button right here to download it. Also, if this is an article, then in the future, you're going to want to maybe cite. We have the ability here. So Mendeley is an Elsevier product. So you can either add it directly to Mendeley, or if you're using another reference manager like EndNote or Zotero or RefWorks, you can click on the site right here, and you can either save it or export it to the proper format to bring it into that product.
We have a question.
Sure.
If we add Mendeley to our ScienceDirect account, do we have to download it again, or will it directly be linked to the Microsoft Word?
Oh, in Microsoft Word, we have to add it.
I have to add the extension to Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, and then from your work, you have to search for which reference you want to add at which point.
right, right.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Case has like direct access to the word.
No,
So go by the classical.
None of the reference manager work like that. You build your list of your library,
Right, right.
and from there you work with.
I know the classical layer.
Yeah. No,
Thank
it's
you.
not. Okay. Sorry, Steve, no, not related to ScienceDirect. It was about Mendeley, if it can go from here directly to Word, and that's not the case.
No, right. Yeah, I mean, so you would download it, add it to Mendeley, and then when you're in Mendeley, it would, the PDF would be in there. Is that a question about then text mining?
No. He
Oh, okay.
he was interested to cite it, so from here to send it direct to a Word document, which is not
Right,
the
okay.
case.
Right. Okay.
I have a question
So-
about the citing articles. Are those only from what you have in ScienceDirect, I assume, right?
Oh, the citing articles are over here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me actually move out of here. So back on the page, so after the center section, and then on the right-hand side, we have recommended articles and citing articles, and then article metrics. So if we look at the citing articles, I just clicked on the view more. So these would be either ones from ScienceDirect. And when I click on that, it actually takes me to Scopus. So Scopus is our citation abstract and indexing product, which Case Western subscribes to. So you would have access to this data. So it wouldn't, trying to see here. Yeah, so these would be any of the citations, regardless of publisher.
Okay, so the
So
number
this would be
is,
any.
the number of citation is from Scopus, and it can be from other publishers as well, not just Elsevier.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, Scopus, as I mentioned, is abstracting index database. It's publisher agnostic. We have over 5,000 different publishers in here. So this information would be Elsevier and every other publisher if it had a citation.
And we do have access to Scopus.
Sorry, was that a question? I didn't hear.
No, I just commented that we do have access to Scopus.
All right. Yep, you do. So the other one right down here, you have article metrics. And so the reason why I went back to that 2019 paper is just so that we could view the article metrics. So this just allows you for articles that, have been out there for a little while and people have now been citing them. So again, you see the 6 citations from Scopus. Also, it's been captured. So this means that 7 people have added this paper to their library in Mendeley. So these are just some metrics on, what people are, how people are interacting with this article beyond, just like the citations and that. So let me just close that one out. So yeah, so those are all things that you can do with the article here. So one thing we've added in the last couple of years are called topic pages into ScienceDirect. So we did notice that when users were within an article or that, if there was a term or something that they didn't know about, they would usually, cut and paste it and go out to learn about it. So what we actually did is we used some tools and some AI to actually create topic pages so that people didn't have to leave the platform. So right here, if I'm in the introduction and photocatalysis is underlined, that means that there is a link. I click on that link and it now takes me to the topic page on this particular term. Gives a brief little summary of what it is. It also gives you related terms that you can look up. And then down below, you actually get snippets from chapters of books within ScienceDirect that you can then read. Right, you can read and then move further on if you're if it's of more interest. You can then click in there. So for the chapters, I do have to make the note that downloading these would be per if you have, your institution has a subscription, but this part right here, the little summaries are available right through this page. You can also set up an alert. So if this term is something that you want to set an alert that if any article comes up with that, you could set up an alert. You can also view all topics. So I'm doing photocatalysis, but we have over about 350,000 of these. So once I type in photocatalysis, you'll see you get the results, and then basically they're derived from the encyclopedias from the various subject areas that we have. So, photocatalysis in engineering or in material science, things like that. So if I click on the one in engineering, it'll basically just take me back to where we were. But yeah, these are available to, within any article in ScienceDirect when you see these terms that are underlined.
And I think they are showing up in Google search, my searches. And when I search on Google, I get these pages sometimes.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, we have partnered with Google, and so yeah, if you are doing a search, for instance, photocatalysis or valence band, yeah, one of the top search results might come up to be the topic page. It's actually the second most used or second most used feature in ScienceDirect after hitting an article.
Yeah, we have another question.
How do we access audiobooks?
ScienceDirect doesn't have audiobooks.
He mentioned that there were audiobooks.
Do you have audiobooks, Steve?
So we do have books, ebooks and that on ScienceDirect. If they do have, so there are embedded, video and audio files. If they're, if that book was published with it, I'd have to look. I don't think I can't think right now of
A specific one.
Yeah, a specific one. But yeah, if you do find a book in that and there is audio in that available, it would show up.
So maybe you can add in the menu of options to refine if video and audio clips and limit to that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is just this is an older book from 1974, so it won't have anything like that. But this is basically how the books show up, and usually the extra material would be kind of, as I said, just like on the journals, would be on the left-hand side if it has additional materials. Usually,
scientific books do not come as audiobooks, unfortunately. Okay.
Right, exactly. They would. It's usually. For instance, like the reference works, I know a lot of our reference works have audio. So yeah, it's not the entire book, but they do have audio files in that, and if there's associated things like that. But yeah, it wouldn't be a full audio book for it. So that's mostly on ScienceDirect. One other thing I wanted to point out. So if you are logged into your account, and also, as Kathy mentioned, if logging in for all the Elsevier products, if you use a similar username and password, so you don't have to log into each one separately. You can save things here. So you do have your search history. So even if you have to leave and come back, you'll have a search history. So nanotubes. So this would be what you've done. And then you also have a reading history. So a reading history, which then provides you with the recent articles that you've accessed on the site. Again, this is something that you can turn on or toggle on or off if you want it to track it, but it does allow you to then quickly go back to an article that you may have looked at, a day or a week or a month ago. And then you also have alert settings. It's like most products, you can actually, if there's something of interest and you have a search. So if I want to always get a notification if anything with the keyword photocatalysis shows up in ScienceDirect, I could set up that type of a search alert. Again, so in ScienceDirect, this would be Elsevier only content. I would probably recommend that you would set up a search alert in Scopus instead, because that would cover all publishers. So you would get a broader result set. But just wanted to mention that. And that covers most of everything for ScienceDirect. So just wanted to leave some time for any questions or.
Are there any questions online or here? Any more questions? I just want to mention to have access to all this content, you need to be either on campus using our Case Wireless and be logged into your single sign-on, or if you are off campus, you need to be logged into VPN first and then single sign-on, and you'll have access. Also remember to start from the library links for databases, because when you're going to click, or you are going to see on the address bar that's recognized as affiliated with Case. So you want that to happen. Do you know how to find all the databases? You do? Okay. Do you have any questions? What are you studying? Materials, and you?
Physics.
Physics, okay. Yeah, for physics, maybe we can invite somebody else to present. Thank you, Steve and Kathy. I think I'm gonna stop recording.
Great, thank you.